Hello, everybody. It's Monday. It's time to make some things with me. I'm Mariah of the PM Artist Studio. P's over there.
I'm in the background.
She doesn't show her face, although I will say she does actually look kind of cute. She didn't put her makeup on, but she is dressed to go out into public. She bathed.
Smell good.
Thought I'd give y'all that update. Anyway.
You can see me tomorrow. I'll wear the same shirt.
Yeah. So, do say hello in the chat so we can say hello back. Otherwise, we do not know that you are here. We like to know that you're here because we are an arty friendly bunch of folks. We like to chat about all kinds of things. Usually ends up talking about food and, you know, just what people are doing and, you know, all kinds of things happen in chat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Some things we can't say out loud, but those are the funniest.
Kind of like
usually.
Vegas.
Yeah. What happens in chat stays in chat. Anyway, yes, do give those thumbsy upsies if you haven't already. Welcome to those of you that are coming in. Let's say hello to everybody. I feel like I'm forgetting things, but you know. And Webb's here. Art Curious by M&W. That's Miriam. Becky's here. Betsy. Big Mopar. Cheryl. Cookie Wookie. That's Mo. Darcy. Diane. Eddie is here. Emma. Estella. Gray. Griffin Shell. Adrianka. Hello and welcome back. Okay, I was popping back up to the top. And we got Estella, Gray, Griffin Shell, that's Rhonda. Hoarder Paper Crafts, that's Mimi. Handy Scandy, that's Nancy. Holly King, Jackie's here. Jeanette, aka Jeanette. Jenny's here. Joanne, Jocelyn, Julie. I believe Julie Atkinson. Hello and welcome. I think you're new, but you may have been here before. Lexi, Lindsay, Lizanne, Lizzie Jean, Lydia, Margie. Mark Hines is in the house. Hey, Mark. It's been a little bit. We miss you. I know you're watching replay. That's okay. You're allowed to do that. Painting again. That is Shannon. Is that right? I got that right. Painting again. Sandy. See, it's my S's that throw my brain off. Have a look. Apologies. I'll get it one of these days. Sandy. I really will. Patricia Pfeiffer, Paula's here, and Veronica. If I missed you, it wasn't on purpose. Just give me some extra pinky hello hands and I'll get you helloed. Hello, Jessie. Hey, it's still been a little bit. Glad to see you. This shirt is just not cooperating with me. Okay, so today, I'm going to go top view.
Did you say hello to Cheryl?
Hello, Cheryl.
She kicked herself out.
Okay.
I understand that.
Mm-hmm. So, we found them kind of at the last minute. Pete looked for them, and then I looked for them, and we both were like, okay, well, we need to think about that. And then we found them this morning before the stream. And then Pete she was able to cut them up. So she's been busy this morning.
I don't know when I'm getting my eyes fixed because the Brooks people haven't called me back yet. If they don't call by the end of the day today, I'm calling them back first thing in the morning. I got a lot on my plate today.
Yeah, she's got to go out and about. Castle's got to go to the... Castle is Van. That's the husband. Some people been asking. Jackie was like, she's trying to figure out what we're all doing over here. But yeah, when I say Castle, that's Van. That's her husband. She's going to the VA today. Get checked up and whatnot.
Joy.
It's a little stressful of a drive because it's a little bit of a
jaunt.
It's
not like Fort Worth, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, you only have 2 highway changes.
Yeah, and they're pretty nice highways, and
they're very nice. And I think at the time of day we're going today, now it's probably going to be horrible coming home.
Maybe
during rush hour.
Depends on when you, yeah.
But you don't really understand. Mariah had to enlarge the chat for me.
Well, or just, is it better without your glasses?
No.
Okay.
It's just the bottom part.
Do you want me to get those readers?
It won't work because it'll make one eye. They won't work together that way.
She needs to be a pirate.
I can't go and buy those glasses at the store because I have a far-sighted eye and a nearsighted eye.
Well, you could pop them out. You could get 2 different ones.
Oh, yeah. Boy, let's do that.
Hey, I got solutions. They may not be the ones you want, but I'm at least offering up solutions. Okay, my arty friends. We need to discuss some things with y'all. what is it that we want to, what is our end goal with the security envelopes? I will tell you, my idea is to kind of collage them onto some type of, I don't know, I mean, if it's 8.5 by 11 sheets, so that's a 32-pound hammer mill, we can do that. We could put it on a bigger board, but that means it's going to be a heavier thing. You know, are we ending up with postcards, ATCs, or what is it? What do you guys think? Hi, Anina.
I don't like ATCs because they're so little. I don't have enough room to work.
Right. But then, you know, we could start out like big masterboardy business where you really excel.
Then I can come in
and then do finishing little things
I love that. Let me give you some good paper then. Let me see if I can find you some good paper while you're chit-chatting about that.
Because we're thinking, even if I get to the point today, if we get this all collaged out onto a master board, then I can move the camera over there. She didn't want her face on camera, but I could even turn her on if, you know, need be.
I don't think we're going to go with watercolor. I think that's too heavy.
Yeah, that's some pretty thick stuff.
Well, that particular one.
Yes. Hi, Robin.
Is that Butterfly Robin?
Mm-hmm. Is that... No. I haven't seen Butterfly Robin in a while. That's
I don't know why she gave up on us, by golly.
Probably because we were, you know, called her Butterfly Robin.
All right, I think that this right here, Mariah.
Yeah, I like that. It's a good size.
Now that's the Canson watercolor.
Canson watercolor.
140 pound, 11 by 15.
There you go.
I don't know how much it costs because it's as old as the hill.
But it is pretty reasonable. Canson products usually are quite reasonable. All right, we're not going to put a heck of a lot of thought. Oh, and darn it, I just mixed up. We decided to keep the windows.
Now, if you need to make some of those smaller sizes, I will do that for you just in a... I've got my little cutter here.
Well, I could also tear them. I don't know if
you know that's true.
Into that. Not everything has to be a squared edge. Certainly not for me.
Well, I think most of those are because they're envelopes, and I just cut from them.
That's how those envelopes are, unless she's making them.
And I did try to get all of the personal information that, you know, there were a couple there that had my credit card information on the back.
Good. Yeah, I mean, security things kind of come into security envelopes. That makes sense, right? Hey, let's see. Anybody else coming in there? Hi, Kathleen. Hey, okay, let's see. P, I didn't know that you were with a husband until a few weeks ago after being here.
He's very tolerant. Let me just say that.
We don't yammer about Van too much. Okie dokie, Schmokey. Let's get this out. This is the glue that I love the most for this sort of situation. It is the Mart Craft PVA glue.
I want a family tree.
Oh, well, her side gets real interesting. She's had 3 husbands.
Yeah, there would be lots of branches. I don't know if branches or trees. You know, pardon me. I'm having coffee this morning and it's not.
Some of those apples fell off the tree. Starting new trees.
Yeah.
Well,
Jennifer
but not really.
McKinnon said, hi, Mariah. Sophia said, hi, Mariah.
Hi,
hello, hello. There's Betty.
Hi, Sophia.
Betty Ann. Do we know Betty Ann? Betty Ann, hello.
I think Betty Ann's new. Welcome. I love it that we're getting some new people. Hey, thumbsy up, y'all.
Absolutely.
Hey, Okay. I'm looking for my little spreader thing.
Oh, painting again. Her current order of PM goodies is out for delivery today. She is so excited.
Wonderful. Yeah,
I am excited for you too. That is.
We have been shipping out some orders, so I know a lot of y'all are getting things. Some apples. Well, I don't know. You know.
Hi, Jennifer. She put me in capital letters, Mariah.
That's probably best if you do want P to see anything, you may want to go all caps for her because she's struggling with the
Betty Ann says, fun video. We love to hear that.
We try to keep it interesting while, you know, doing the kind of mundane, arty things. This is not exactly like, you know.
Now, I am really serious about this business with these envelopes, though. When I started saving them, the thing about, here's the thing.
Back 20 years ago or so. Some of these have been around a long time. Like, some of those envelopes were yellowed. So that's how.
They are, but we don't need to pursue that. Anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
What was I going to say?
Sorry. The envelopes. You've been collecting these for a while.
I have been. And the ones you want to really watch out for are the big ones. Because they have a lot of real estate.
Yeah, like they're sending you the packet of
your
insurance stuff or
your, I don't know, I used to get stuff from Edward Jones.
Financial stuff.
Yeah.
Look at me and look at this. I will tell you, these blank key cards work fabulously because you can actually wipe them off. So, you know, reusable.
Oh, in between Arty and Jackie wants to hear about the husbands.
Oh, okay.
Well, I can, okay. I will just go ahead and chit-chat about Mariah and Brad. I wore black to the wedding because I was just sure this was going to be her first
I think they want to hear about your 3 husbands.
My 3 husbands?
Not just my one
Well,
husband.
the first one was Mariah's father.
Clark.
And he was, the reason I think we really clicked was he was into botany. And I've always, and I majored in English, but I was interested in plants, very much so, because I grew up. My great-grandmother, we would go fetch the cows, and she'd talk to me about the plants that we would run into as we were walking the lane. We called it the lane, specifically designed to get the cows from the pasture to the milking stations in the barn. And we would walk along, and she would tell me about. I knew a lot about plants before, I was even in school. And I would go with him when he was doing his collecting taxidermy thing, and help him collect things, and at least start out with the common names, because a lot of times you can start out with the common names and get the scientific genus species name. So that is how I met him. And we, went along, and then graduated, or very close to being drafted. He was number, I think, 59 on the draft. But the war, they closed it down before he was drafted. And that was great, because about the time he graduated was when it stopped. Went to Nebraska.
Mine was off-white.
And worked at the Piggly Wiggly grocery store in the produce department. Yeah, I know, go figure. Botany degrees were not something that was like hot items for employment.
What you need? Are you just hanging out?
Oh,
no,
we need to go.
Yeah, it's time for her to go.
Oh.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Okay, well, I got some on my own.
I guess you are, Mariah. Are you going to be okay?
Yeah. I'm
All right. And those ones that need, here, I'm going to hand you this little thing that you can just do a quick chop if you don't want to deal with.
Yeah, ripping it or whatever. Okay,
yeah.
That's good idea.
I don't care if you rip it. I mean, it doesn't make any difference to me.
Dee Dee gonna take coffee for the road?
I don't think so. Because then I'll just have to pay.
That's Van.
For some reason, I had this in my brain that it was going to be after.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That's how I do things.
Yeah.
I swear. All right, y'all. Adios. I'm really. I
just,
sure
just
would
leaving me.
I would much rather stay here and do this than go to the VA. But
yeah,
we don't all have our druthers. So I'll talk to y'all tomorrow, and I will definitely be here tomorrow. You're just doing such a bang up job. Aren't those interesting?
I think they're fabulous. Well, I'll give kind of an up close. We'll slow this down a little bit so I can chit chat with y'all. And oh, I love that. Yeah, my dress I actually just got at Macy's. I did want a black dress, but my friend she was real adamant about that I shouldn't wear a black dress to my wedding, but Brad didn't care.
Totally did not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he yeah. He's pretty chill about that sort of stuff, you know.
All right.
Love you.
Love you like a long haul.
Y'all met at the grocery store, didn't you?
Well, actually, the first time we did meet at the grocery store, and his roommate Ron was in my psychology class, and he was hitting on me. He really didn't want to introduce me to look at this here. Look at this baby.
Oh, look at that baby. Look at that baby. That's my chubby baby.
That's why I'm here, where I am.
Mm-hmm. That's why she came back to Texas.
Taking the cards, Mariah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you never know who you're gonna run into. I'm trying not to overlap these too much because I don't want there to be a bunch of like lumpy bumpy things, because she does plan on gel printing over this and stamping and things like that. So I'm trying to make as much of a yeah, and if y'all have questions, let me know. Put it in all caps today, because yeah. Okay, well, why don't y'all ask me questions? What do you want to know? So that way I'm not giving up anything that I don't necessarily. Anyway, second husband was our across the street neighbor in Friona. And then Steve and Susie that have come and visit. That's how they're our family. Loved Carmichael. Loved him. He was awesome. And then Van, she knew, was her like fourth grade square dance partner. There you go. Sorry, had to put that in my head and remember what you call that. Square dance. I'm gonna trim these off, but I figured that like this is better to kind of do it this way than, you know, mess around. Hey, Lee. Aren't those? She's been collecting, yeah, these for a while. She even has ones that are like blue or, you know, other colors too. I think she just grabbed the black and white ones. Check this out. This is a cool one. Not fabulous. Put that one down next. Yeah, it's a cool pattern. Kind of reminds me of the we had that one crackle stamp. Like it wasn't our stamp. We should make one of those though. I mean, we do have the desert cracks, but we should make something like that. He is a Marine. And he served in Vietnam. And he did I don't know if he was like still in the service whenever they did Iraq, or when he went to Iraq, because I think he did like contract stuff. But he did go to Iraq, and that's where he lost his sense of smell. of the burn pits. I used to work on oil rigs too. And then her second husband was a farmer. Mainly cotton, I believe. I think that's right. Van, current husband. Ooh, that one's trippy. Woo! Look at that. I love that she got as much out of that one as she could. It's funny. I don't know if we want to do that. I think what we want to do is probably something like that. That's what we're going to do. Because I don't want to deal with that wonky edge. Oh, hi. How I met Brad. So there used to be this club. I don't think it's open anymore, but it was still open for a long, long time. Called the Lizard Lounge. And that is where Brad and I met. At the club. When we met, I just turned 19. I think I just turned, well, we both were, well, he was already 19 because he's a little bit older than I am. Yes, exactly. Lucky there. All right. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Oh, that's kind of cool. It is a fun way to meet your husband. You know, this is back in the day when people went out, and I guess people still go to the club. It's very expensive. Oh, that is fabulous. Can I read that out loud? Let me know in the chat, Paula. That's good. That's good, Estella. That's good. 100%. It gets all weird in the technology. There we go. Glue. And I'm trying not to get too much glue over onto the little windows because I'm thinking that there might be some cool transfer opportunities if I don't, mess it up too bad. Okay, I'll put this over here for right now. Love that. I think we're gonna put some more of that up here. Or do we do it? I think we do it like that. We're gonna do it like that. Nope. Glue. Fine. We got it. It's all good. Oh, okay. Yes, I can. All right. So Paula said that she picked up her husband outside a salsa club after a girls' night out. Not that I've ever been to a salsa club. I'm sure they have them around Dallas. Remember, so we used to live on kind of a different part of town, and there was this like ballroom dancing place, and I think not only did they like teach the ball like room thing, but then like on Fridays and Saturday nights, it was kind of like, you know, just show up and like free dance, sort of like a club. I don't know that they serve drinks or anything like that, but I always thought that was really interesting. I think Brad and I even talked about like taking lessons at one point, but we didn't do that. I'm not very good at like learning dances. Do some, oh, I already have that one. That one's represented. Ooh, okay, we got the big, I mean, this is the big. Oh, congrats, Tammy. So this October was 24. So this coming October will be 25 years. Kind of a big one, right? For Brian and I, we were babies. Babies. I'm going to trim these so I can have these pieces. These are the big scissors. Struggling. There we go. Put these back in the mix. Nope, we already used that just there. I think we've used all the different kinds. Oh, straight up stripes. Oh, I haven't used that one yet. It's kind of trippy putting it next to that one though. And the basket weavy one there. I think we need to. That one's too close. All right. Crisscross, crisscross. I'm gonna do that one because that's there, that's there. I think that's pretty good. Okay. Oh, Lizzie Jean. Hers is 29 years. Oh, okay. What prompted you to start the business? Which business? I'm assuming you mean PM Artist Studio. So, kind of funny thing. Trying to think about like the timeline and how best to explain that. So when P first moved in here, Izzy was 2? No. I think she was just about to turn 2. I think that's right. Anyway. It was 2019. 2018? Right before, not really right before pandemic or anything like that. But basically what kind of happened there is that, you know, I had a baby or toddler. And we were home all the time. And P was a little bit kind of sad because like when we first got her set up with the studio here, she's like, you know, it's great and all, and I had everything put away really well and nice. But that is not necessarily how she operates, how she works. And so then I was like, okay, well, you know, maybe I should come up and start you know, hanging out. We can just do some things or whatever. And Izzy could play. Because she liked to come up here. We had a chair and she'd run around. Anyway, I know this is not exactly what you're asking, but we'll get there, and you know, we're having combo. So, then P ended up getting a bunch of alcohol inks because we'd never really done that before because we didn't have all the paints, we didn't have any of that stuff. She hadn't done the gel printing or anything like that. And we started messing around with the alcohol inks. And we really did enjoy that, but it does require a lot of ventilation. And so, like, once we sort of moved on to different things, we sent those off to Sharon, actually, Texture Junkies. But in the meantime, like, P kept saying, oh, I want, she always really wanted to do the gel printing thing. And I'm like, well, I mean, watch some videos, check it out, see what's going on. And during that time, we had also started, like, we were on 2 different design teams. Louisa Heinzel would be one that most of y'all probably know. Just to kind of get an idea of, like, you know, how all of that went. And which was cool because we met some really cool people, got exposed to some other things that we had never been exposed to, junk journaling and things of that nature. We'd never even seen it or heard of it. And so started doing some, because P had painty papers as far as like watercolor papers, and we had our different alcohol inks, and we'd already started like mixing up things. We were very mixed media still, or, you know, even then. It wasn't like, oh, we're just doing alcohol inks. And we didn't get along with the alcohol ink people very well anyway. We've mentioned that. Because they were a little bit more purist than what we were into. Big shocker, I know. And so did the design team stuff, what, a year? I mean, we did 1 year with, I think we did 1 year with Louisa Heinzel. Half a year with Thoughtful Studio. I don't even think she's around anymore. But that's how we learned how to do videos and things of that nature. But then, oh, and see, I just have that there in the middle, so I am going to go ahead and put this over here. Or over here. Like that. So once P started really getting into gel printing, then there's kind of this natural progression into trying different things on the gel plate. That's a lot of like what you guys end up, like, I think, finding us for, is just kind of doing different things. And one of the deals was that P had some stencils that she had made, just like manila folder ones that she used to spray paint furniture with and stuff like that. We played around with that a little bit, but then it was kind of like, okay, well, those aren't exactly like, you know, the longevity of them, even though if you do cut up your own paper ones, if you cover them enough paint, actually they will last a good amount of time. But then P had some cool ones that she's like, hey, do you think that we could turn this into a stencil? So, well, I don't know that much about stencils, so let me figure that out. And then I had the Cricut for a long time. Actually, it sat in the closet. I'm like, okay, well, maybe we need to figure out how to work this thing out. And she's like, well, one of the things that I do not like about like these other, she had some just kind of like flimsy, Mylar-ish. I don't know. They were really thin, not like the harder, thicker Mylar stuff. She's like, but I don't like those. They're slicky, and so let's try to find something. Well, because of the alcohol ink exploration that we had done, we knew about Yupo, and I was like, why don't I start cutting it out of this stuff? So then once I figured that out, that was great, and we took some of her designs. And that's sort of how the PM Artist Studio stencil business, but ultimately, like, what we started out doing were just printables, had some artwork, did cards, and that was the start of it. And then just everything else sort of gradually came about from the whole gel printing situation. And I know that was probably a really long version of the story, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Ooh, congratulations, Margie. She's celebrating 35 years, and then I saw somebody else 31 years. Oh, Darcy just celebrated 31, and they're coming up on 49. Patricia Pfeiffer, 54. Wow, you guys. That's awesome. Trying to get it to flatten out and reach it. Oh, Robin's 30 years next month. Okay, see, we need to hit some of these little corners. I'm going to get that with the art glitter glue. Now, what I think is I'm going to make a small one of these, and then we're going to test out some other things on top of it. What do y'all think about that? So I was thinking we could maybe do some of these thingies. I think that'll be fun. We'll do some stamping on it, but I'm going to leave this one as is because it's the larger one. I need to clean that up. It's transferring to all sorts of things, isn't it? All right, one sec, y'all. Oh, yeah. Good golly. That was just a real accident waiting to happen. Goodness. I saw it on the back of the thing, but then it's a little bit on the front of the thing. That wasn't good. Okay. 15 years, I get rid of my rejoice. I counts too, Miriam. 100%. Let's see. And very much enjoyed the history. Okay. But the other business that we do, which we don't do a whole lot of, but we still do have clients, and you know, it's something that we do, is our website marketing. I mean, we build websites. We built our site. Brad did, actually, for the most part. Along with our developer team that we work with. And then we maintain a lot of sites because we don't take on new clients. It's very rare that we do. If we do, it's usually a smaller, quick, kind of small website. Kind of like a starter website. Do, you know, logos. I don't like doing logos and stuff like that anymore. Most of the time people don't really follow instructions anyway. Or, you know, they have their ideas about things, and that's great and all, but it's not very much fun. Okay. Let's do this little one, and then we'll do some stamping and the like different embossing stuff on it. That should be fun because then P can come back over it with gel printing, and I think that will be pretty cool. Oh, wow. Oh, I know, Jeanette. Sorry, this has been driving me crazy, so I'm going to get this thing off of here. There we go. Hooked onto the... Move that. There we go. All right. Now, I don't know if we go with little smaller pieces kind of do that. We'll go a little wild, we'll get a little more wild and crazy. I have absolutely no idea what kind of paper this is. It was just over here as some kind of scrap thing. So, can't give you details on that. It's not that heavy of a paper. I mean, it's certainly not cover stock, but it does seem a little heavier than like copy paper. Somewhere in between. Yes. All right, any more questions? Questions? I like answering the questions. So start in the center and work my way out. I'm going to do that. Addie. Any personal questions for me? Or business related questions? Oh, thank you. I'm trying. Oh, I was going to go in the middle. I'm going to go in the middle. Doing that. Starting in the middle. What is my favorite font? Okay, well, my favorite font style is anything that is a sans serif font. I really love thicker, like more bold, like Helvetica type ones. There's this one called Dozer that I'm really, kind of into right now. Dig that one. But then again, there's a font for everything. And I really do, I do believe that. My least favorite fonts are like calligraphy style ones or whatever. I just can't get into that. Like there isn't a lot of things that I feel like that, represents the style of graphic design that I would normally create or, want to then bring in typography. So yeah. Mm. Are most people here YouTubers? There's quite a few. I mean, if y'all want to say me. Pulled it away. Oh no, and maybe it's down now. That's okay. We're not going to obsess about that. Nope. I really am very in love with this. Just want to show y'all that again. Oh, my top 5 favorite musicians. Funny. Okay. So I really don't listen to music much anymore because most of the time it makes me cry. But when I did like just hang out on the patio with my friends, Juice Newton playing with the Queen of Hearts is one of my most favorite songs ever. I love a band named the Waylon Jennies. They are awesome. And did I think they covered the song. Like, I don't think it's their song. This beautiful, I think it was A Beautiful Day or something like that. And I'm really bad at remembering the names of songs and things like that. I really do love bluegrass and also really love, like, gospel bluegrass. I know that kind of blows your mind because I also really love gangster rap. People are complicated. Let's see. So most favorites. But yes, country music, like when I was younger, I really wasn't all that into it at all, except for like Patsy Cline. Absolutely loved or still love and adore Patsy Cline. I love Alabama. That's some of my favorite. I'm not gonna call off any rap music, but if you just go pretty much anything from the early 90s gangster rap type stuff. Absolutely love and adore that. Yeah. Queen Hearts is a banger for sure. I mean, pretty much every time we hung out, I had to hear that. Oh, let's see. I don't love like, you know, Brad really likes bands like, you know, the Foo Fighters and stuff like that. I was never totally into that. I didn't mind it, but it wasn't like, ooh, you know, put that on. Love techno music. Still love techno music. Brad plays some things every once in a while in the office, and he knows that it's gonna like get me like, ooh, ooh. So I guess every once in a while we do listen to some music. And then I'm like, okay, I'm done with that. Have to focus. Yes, there is, Darcy. And actually, if you go over onto the website, PM Friends Links, that's right, Mo, exactly. I have most people listed there. If you are one of our Arty friends and you are a regular here and we have not added your channel to that list, please email me and let me know. But again, our kind of requirements are, do you hang out with us? Are you here often? Have you used PM Artist Studio products? That's kind of that's the thing. Okay, has a question. Okay. I'm looking. Sorry. Could you take some of those patterns and turn them into stencils? Well, not really stencils. These would, you know, something like this would definitely have to be like a stamp. We could do something similar. Um, uh, you know, with lines and what they consider, I can't remember the exact terminology for it, but basically like a smiley face. Nobody owns a copyright to that because it is such a widely general, like, known graphic. So you could reproduce that any which way you kind of please. Now, again, if it was more stylized, and that's where it gets a little tricky. But yeah, I think some of this definitely, because I mean, it's lines, it's crisscross pattern, it's whatever. Yeah, you can get away with doing that. Exactly. Common patterns are not copyrightable. There's a term for it. I just couldn't remember it. It's like the smiley face thing. I'm gonna, Oh, yes, and welcome to those of you that have come in. Do say hello in the chat. I am solo today. P was here earlier, but she had to go to an appointment, so I know it's not as vibrant of a chit chat on the screen, but you guys are doing an awesome job in chat. Thank you very much. Do thumbsy upsy if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new and enjoying what you're seeing here. We do this 4 times a week. This is Mariah Makes Monday. P is usually not on camera on Mondays, but usually you would hear her, just not today. And what else? Leave us comments below if you were watching in a replay. Let us know if you have questions down below there. It's not super straight, but you know, just doing the best we can right now. Oh, that's interesting. Where do I need to go? That'll get us there. I would do that. I did. Yeah, did that work now? Is it being weird with the links? I'm telling you, some days it does some funky things. We're always not in control of that. This is fun. Hopefully y'all are enjoying this. Sorry, I'm not being super duper chatty. You gotta give me questions. Because as I'm thinking, doing this stuff, it's harder for me to like come up with things. I'm gonna put some more of this. So. Really like this one. It's fun. And I'll do that end. All right, great. Thank you so much. Oh, Carrie had a question. Okay, sorry, miss. Yeah, Carrie, repeat your question. Where's Walter? No idea. Eddie, I'll tell you what. Oh, definitely Jocelyn. Ooh, and actually I got a new thing that'll be fun to post in Makers. I know some people got upset about the cats, but you know, that's on them. That ain't y'all. I'm just gonna say. I very much appreciated the pictures of the cats. Enjoyed them thoroughly. If you have some fun security envelopes that none of us is seeing, or just post them, because you know, not everybody gets to see the same ones. So let's do that. Let's make a fun little thing out of that. A little more art related for those that are feeling all sad in the world. Oh, are you not on there, Margie? Just send me an email. I'm sure you were on there. That was purely an oversight. Although, seriously, I only really update it every so often, and if you kind of missed the window, then that would explain things. Okay. Okay, there's Carrie's question. Keep visiting Mariah. Do you wish to take your family business to the next level of manufacturing, shelling, and stops and suppliers? Yes. I don't know that we have to be in. I would like. So the answer is yes, but maybe not in that traditional sense where we end up in selling it like Michael's or wherever. Because we would be able to, I would like us to get to a point where we would handle all of the sales. We are the distributor. We are the, we have a warehouse and we can do that sort of thing. That would be the next, like, probably most logical thing. And then perhaps, once that goes a step further, then it would be, going into shops and things like that. But I don't even know if that's a necessity. And it's kind of an interesting way to think about things, but it was sort of a business model of a company that I used to work for, where it took them like years and years and years to get into the big box stores, but they still did better business, and you have a better return. Like, number one, you have better connection with like your customers because you are directly connected to them, just like we are here. That's fantastic, and I love that. And it removes the middleman. Like, you don't always need those big box stores, and I don't know that that fits with our general values of kind of my idea of what PM Artist Studio is. Not to say that it wouldn't end up being there, but right now, for sure, it's that small business kind of concept that, because that's what we are. Yeah. Okay, do I like that in that corner? No, because see, I'd rather it be over in this corner, and maybe we do it like that. And okay, we're gonna do that. Boop, 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 boop. Yes, and then after that, rule the world. 100%. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Yeah, I mean, that's very important. And I think, there are even big businesses that still have a small business mentality, and that should be it's a valuable thing. Then world dominance. That's some pinky in the brain kind of stuff. I will say working on the smaller one's a little easier because you can kind of turn around and digging that a little more. Feel like that breaking into there? Or are we going to keep that along that same line? Or, it almost fit, y'all. Or do we do... Does that fit? Okay, there we go. Do that one. Yeah. The reason he asked, many sales are lost because international shipping outweighs the cost of the product. Yeah. And I think that that would be one kind of, like, anything sold within the United States would be directly from us, and then perhaps expand to where, yes, like, if we can find some smaller kind of shops that align with, like, the style of us. I know they exist. I think that that would be a really cool way to do that. And then we would have to go and travel and, you know, check those places out. Business trips, you know? Business trips. Why do I like the rainbow? Well, no, I love rainbow. But yes, it is also a, you know, definitely, and it's more social justice than it is political, and that's where I think a lot of people kind of have a misunderstanding. This is just about, you know, people and loving people, and I think that's important to express. A little wonkiness there, but we're gonna, yeah, exactly, Sue, exactly. You know, it's important for people to know that other people are safe people, and that's kind of one way to do it. But thank you for asking that. I really appreciate that. Sandy's mail has arrived. Wonderful, wonderful. 100%, Darcy. 100%. Took me a minute to work that one out. Okay, one little corner. What should we put in the corner? You don't put baby in the corner. I know that. Don't put baby in the corner. Some of y'all get that. Some people would be like, P would be like, what are you talking about? She don't know that. I like that. Do we like that? Because it's a good little boop boop. I will say I could use about 2 different other patterns, and I would have, you know, I would have been happy about that. And I know they make them, and P probably has them. I think she was just trying to be quick about this, because like I said, literally, we found these like right before we started streaming, so it was pretty amazing that she got cut up for what she did. Oh, hello, the Dark Project. Goes to replace full timing. Yeah, you know, it takes that's actually a really good comment. It was funny whenever we first started. So like I said, we were on the design team of Thoughtful Studio, and that was a really great experience in that she was starting out, and she had a lot of really great business sense. There's some other kind of weird things about all that, but besides that, she said that, you know, usually these types of businesses take about 3 years, and that is true. Like, I would, if you look back from when we started to when things really became PM Artist Studio as the business part of it, it was about 3 years. And let me tell you, it requires work every single day. Because I think some people, especially like with like how Etsy was at one point in time, they're like, oh, you know, I get these cool little products, I put them up on Etsy, and then people just arrive. They do not. You must go out and find them. and remind them and then find some more people. And then keep, rinse and repeat. That's kind of the thing there. All right, let's do some fun stuff with powders that Lizzie Jean sent. It must be a lot of behind the scenes. Yes. And sometimes we think, okay, well, it's really awesome that we do all of this from our house. There's a lovely convenience to that, but that is also sometimes it's a little too convenient. So you end up doing, working way more than you probably should. But in the beginning, it's sort of like you have to do that in order for things to take off. So, oh, Mo, you didn't have to show her. Y'all don't buy anything on Etsy because it's more expensive. You should go to our website, but we do have an Etsy store. That's just so people can find us, and then we send them information about, hey, shop on our website. But yes, we do have Etsy. That's really funny. It is funny when people ask me questions over on Etsy. I usually tell them, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's some. Sorry, I got distracted by that because I thought that was funny. But yeah, it's constant around here, and thank goodness we were able to transition with, Brad taking on a bunch of stuff too, and it all just really worked out that we were phasing out a lot of our other business, Liquid Fly Designs, the website end of things. So that way, more time for him and I to then focus into the PM Artist Studio stuff. And then being able to expand out into cool things. Hopefully this year we might be able to, I don't know. We thought that we were going to expand into some different products, but the stamps are really doing well. And, there isn't any reason to, bring into new things unless we have the bandwidth to do so. The stamps have been very popular. And so, I don't know what the transition of that is. That's what I'm kind of saying. Okay, so we have saltwater taffy, salvaged patina, dried marigold, I haven't even opened this one, lost shadow. Love this, shaded lilac. I don't think this one's been opened either. These opened. Oh, that's very exciting, Eddie. Y'all, if you're new over here and you haven't checked out, so we did talk about the links. You can go over there. You can find a lot of the people, but Darcy, Eddie, Margie. Trying to think of everybody. I'm not leaving you out on purpose. Just those are who I'm seeing. Handy Scandy's new to us. I need to add a Handy Scandy to our list. Nancy and Margie, y'all need to email me. Who else? Miriam, of course, Miriam. Tutu Holly. Hey, Tammy, have you been doing videos? Carrie Griffiths, y'all know Carrie Griffiths. That's true. That's true. I do tell myself though every once in a while, Carrie, that we're gonna find some magical employees, so that way I can just. That's never been the case, but never know. Good thinking though. Yeah, it is constant. If you want the business to work, you have to be. Izzy, you'll say, "Oh, Mommy, you're always working," and I'm like, "Well, it's because I enjoy what I do, and that's part of the reason that things are as successful as they are." And when you really love it, then it isn't bothersome. It isn't like I'm working. It's like, okay, I'm gonna make this thing happen. That's more or less how I look at it. It's like I like the challenges of it, and yeah. Oh, had some. I don't know. That was weird. Okay, open. open. I think there should be one more in here. Ooh, we also have some of these. Now, Lizzie Jean sent me all these. Now, it would be a shame, like these cool sparkly ones. We don't want to cover up the sparkle, the super sparkle. All right, I like these glazing ones because I think it's going to be interesting. Number one, that they are a bit more see-through. Like that's part of the thing with them. That's my understanding. There should be, I think, there were 6 of them, but I don't know. I really need to organize this stuff over here, but that's just another day. It's another day, y'all. All right, and what are we doing on time here? Okay, cool. Oh, goodness. I did, like, there was, I think some of the powder had, like, knocked out into the packaging, and so now it's like I got a little gritty. You know, we're at the beach. Okay, let's see. Quite a few people have come. Yeah, mm-hmm. Oh, good gosh. See, I'm missing things. That makes me sad. Okay. Yeah, I think in another, probably a little over a month, probably, we'll be at 11,000. I think that's right. Close to. Alrighty. Oh, we need some. Okay. Well, we got Carrie's stamp right here. I like that one. 1 second. Be right back. I'm gonna go grab a couple other stamps. Carrie's was gateway into no. Carrie Griffiths, the gateway. That's funny. Okay. I think these are very good candidates for what we want to do here. These are fun. So, just to kind of name them off. Oh, not that one, because I think that one, I like this, because it's either angular or, you know, we've got shapes. Angular. Not angular. Please, will you show the large masterboard again? I will indeed. What did I do with that? Where did I put it? Oh, I put it down here. Should be laying it flat. That's what I should. I'm going to put it under the board. Look, that's funny. Like, you can see the, I don't know if that's the glue, but that's interesting. I have a funny little water spot. But the glue does kind of activate the ink in them. That's why I was getting all that, like, stuff on my fingers and whatnot. Something to kind of keep in mind. I do think that, though, that says to me that there's an opportunity that there's going to be some transfer or resist. More transfer. Like, some of this might go onto the plate, or I don't know. It's going to be interesting. See how that goes. But now we're going to mess with this little one for the next, you know, 30, 40 minutes here. Okay. Oh, thank you, Lizzie Jean. She says that she loves the PM artist stamps. They print so nicely. We've had quite a few people comment on that here lately. That out of the stamps that they own. Okay, wait. So this is something worth talking about. Did you see that my very pristine, lovely, clean, clear pad? Well, it's not super pristine, but about as pristine as things get around here. This big jumbo one that Lizzie Jean sent me. But because we already have ink, because when I photographed these for the website, I put the pumice. This is pumice, the distress oxide. and it helps them photograph nicely. That was sort of an accidental, like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. Let's do that to take the pictures. So, since I already have that on there, I'm going to use my less than this. See, it's supposed to be clear, but it's not, clearly. Really, I have to play. Okay, this is Carrie Griffiths. You know, Carrie the Crafter. Diamonds. This is in the mark making diamonds. Because then the other one that he did, which I think P has because it wasn't over there, is part of the sketchy crew. You don't know what I mean. Go over to the website. Now, I'm just going to use this print because it's what I got. It's what I got, y'all. I don't know them. Oh, it's kind of, look at that. There's like a transfer of color. That's funny. I don't know. Let's see. You will have to use some clear gesso. Oh, to seal it in. I don't want, you could. 100% you could. I think it's going to be more interesting to see if because I don't think the ink's going to like bleed necessarily. I mean, although it could. See, I thought I had them all open, but I didn't, and I love this color. I love this color. Thank you, Margie. Mark Maker, yes, diamonds. Thank you, Mo. If you're looking for links, you can find those over in the chat. I think you got to get to moving with this, with these envelopes, because this is like just plain old copy paper, like type paper. So it will absorb even the clear ink pretty quickly. So you gotta probably move it. See? See, this is what I was telling P the other day. See, she doesn't do that. She doesn't tap it down into the little thing and then just things to learn. Could use some more tapping, but we're gonna do this. Now, I'm also being a little, I'm moving probably faster than one should. If you were doing this on your own, I would highly recommend letting all of the glue dry from the collaging phase of it, because it could run into some issues with it just not, I would say that's kind of what I'm having here, but I'm not going to mess with that. It's just not worth that. Oh, so that's gonna be cool. See how I can see through it? That's fun, isn't it? Alright, let's get crenulated. This is crenulated. This is the big block one by Sophia. Let's do that. Hi, Carol. Welcome, welcome to those of you that have come in. Do say hello in the chat so we can say hello back. We are arty friendly people. If you have not given your thumbsy upsy yet, please do. If you aren't sure, hang out a little bit, you know. Then you can thumbsy upsy. We'll try to remind you again. And if you don't know what thumbsy upsy means, that means like this video. And if you're feeling real friendly, share it with a friend. Share it on your website. Share it on your website. Website on the brain. Share it to your Facebook page or, you know, wherever you do other social media things. Very much appreciated. Please and thank yous. Okay, tap that off into there. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. See, it kind of did some funky things down here, but I'm okay with that because I think again it'll add to the fun, to the flavor, y'all. Not everything has to be FP. So it was kind of tripping me out there. Because on the different patterns, you can see that some look darker. I didn't really notice it on this, but now I am noticing it a little bit more. But when it goes across some of these patterns, it really darkens it up versus that top row. I was like, oh, well, is that one, is it, you know, is it heat embossing? But isn't that interesting? This is going to have to go under the flattener thing because it's getting mighty warpy. Mighty warpy. Remember, this is sort of a little master board. It's the mini master board. So I'm not that concerned about who's it, what's it, where. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Who's it, what's it, where. Because things are going to get cut up. It's going to end up in different places. And, you know, who's it, what's it, where. I'm going to do that one next. Now, this one is Angles. It's part of Devin Rex for Art. This is one of 4? Yeah, I think it's 4. There's 4 different ones in the math. Sorry, math. In her latest math stamps. There we go. Good golly, words are hard. Sketchy Math by Devin. Yes, thank you. Oh, goodness, goodness. Now, what I'd like to do, I kind of want to bring this in here a little bit like that. And a little bit like, a little overlappy. A little overlappy. Now I need to get on it. Oh, all right. Paper down. Oh, I just love this color. That's fun. Should we do a little more of that? I think we're going to do a little more of that. A little more of that business. like that. Let's see. Let's see. That. Like little laser beams. Pew, 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 pew. What did I used to say? Come for the art. I don't know. That just made me think of that. Sound effects are free. Wait for Eddie to comment on that. This is fun. I hope y'all are enjoying this as much as I have been. Look at that. That looks so cool. Everything I expected it to be. Oh, let's put some circles down. Let's get the circle down. Go back with the orangey business. I think we're going to stay away from the silver just because I don't know that that'll be terribly interesting at this moment in time with this particular piece. Thanks, Sunny. Mm-hmm. Oh, I kind of enjoy the summery things. I mean, not, they aren't always good, but you know, yeah. Okay. Let's get this ready. Boop, 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 boop. We're gonna put some down here, like so. Gonna put some powder on that. Yeah, we're gonna do that just because I think this. Which one did I do? I don't remember. All right, we're just gonna go with this. I think. Yeah. Okay. Do the other orange. It's gonna look beautiful together. There we go. There's that end. Oh, it's gonna be fabulous. Fabulous. See what this does for us. We might bring in like maybe one more or just repeat something. Ooh. Flat in. Everybody over there thinks so. interesting that, yeah, it did. See, it made it shiny, but the difference in the color there, I don't know why that is. Maybe because of the ink underneath. That could be it. That could be it. All right, any suggestions on if I should... I think we need to repeat this more. We need more of that. We need more of that. We do indeedy. That's what needs to happen. All right, what's going on here? Please, will you hold the powder into the technology? I will, 100%. So that last one I just did, and I'll show you all the colors again. Let me get the lid on so we don't have a catastrophe. Okay. So that last one I just did was the dried marigold. And these are the embossing glazes. Part of their whole thing is that they have this more see-through-y look. This was the saltwater taffy, so that was this one, and here ended up looking more pinky than like what the orangey business that looks like in the thing. Then we've got the shaded lilac. Actually, I should hold it up there. I could probably read it better. Haven't used this one. Don't plan on using it for this particular one because I like the colors. There's a lost shadow. And then it was the salvaged patina. There we go. And we're going to do more of that salvaged patina with our mark making diamonds. Which then Rihanna starts singing in my head. If you know it, sing it in the chat. Good God, they're still like... Okay. A lot of dusty business happening there. And what else? Yes, distress glazes. Correct. Ooh, and I'm gonna leave, look, see how it kind of stuck on there? I'm gonna leave that. Sort of like that. That's gonna be fun. Okay. All right. Look at that. This is fabulous. And see how interesting? I mean, kind of, you can still see the difference there. I wish a little bit more would have stayed in there, but that's kind of cool. Might be something to explore further at some point in time. Do one more crenulated thing down here. And then everything's kind of gotten two places. Representation. We're going to do that. Going to go the other direction. Oh, bye, Rosemary. Thank you for hanging. It does take a little practice, I will say that. I'm trying to press pretty hard so I can get through because we're going over some of this. That's going to be interesting as well, Tambien. We're going back with the saltwater taffy. Oh, that's going to look cool. There. There we go. Look at that. Now, this is going to be a lot of fun to see what P does with it as far as gel printing it. That will happen tomorrow. And then we have the big plain one. Yeah. Should be fun. Might even do some just like plain stamping on this beforehand. I don't know. We'll see what P wants to do. But overnight, I'm going to let these flatten out. That way they will be easier to work with. Because that was becoming a little bit of a struggle too, even just with stamping down. Because it's pretty warpy. Especially since, you know, like I mentioned earlier. Ideally, if you let your collage, you know, the masterboardy business dry first, then come back and do the next thing. Probably a better way to do it, just because you won't have as much as this warping business, because I would assume that part of the reason it is warping like this is because of the wet glue that is back behind there. Not to say that we can't get it to flatten out, but, you know, just added irritation, I suppose. But yes, we're gonna end just a little bit early because that's kind of it. I don't think I have any other thing, and if we wanted to start something else, that would be probably, we wouldn't get through it. So need to hold this up. Hold on, I'm gonna close this. I think I want to hold some of these up with it. Like the phone runner, like that. Oop, beep, boop, boop, beep, boop. There we go. Hold up a crenulated. All right, gonna do our, you know, goodbye thing here. Let's see. Okay, screen. There we go. Okay, very good. My hair is very flat and sad today. It is what it is. It is what it is, y'all. Let's see. Can we hold that up with that? That might work. There we go. Do y'all like the mouth open thing? I don't know. I don't know if those get a better fit on it or not. Does it look like I'm having fun? I did have fun. Did y'all have fun? Let me know. Do let us know and come back, and, you know, if you're watching in replay, let us know down in the comments. You know, it's down there. Click that whole thing and here's it, what's it. Do make sure that you give those thumbsy upsies if you've made it this far and then you forgot. This will be the time. Thank y'all for hanging out. We'll be here tomorrow, and P will work on all of her part of things. But till then, see ya. Bye.